Hey guys, Jeb Smith here. Today I want to talk about the number one mistake that most first-time home buyers make. And I guess this isn't a mistake that just first-time home buyers make. A lot of people that haven't done the process or haven't been in the process for a while make the same mistake. And that mistake is not getting pre-approved prior to going out and looking for homes. The reason this is such a huge mistake and or issue is that it's kind of doing the process backwards. If you're out there looking at homes without knowing how much you can afford, you truly don't know what you can afford or whether or not you can actually be approved for it. So, when I'm talking to buyers, people just starting the process, first-time home buyers, I always recommend talking to a lender first. A lender is going to be able to guide you through that process. They're going to look at your bank statements. They're going to look at your tax returns. If you're self-employed, they're just going to look at your tax returns. Like I mentioned, pay stubs, that sort of thing. So they're going to check out those documents. They're going to run your credit. They're going to look at your assets, and they're going to tell you how much you can afford to purchase based on lender guidelines. So there's certain restrictions that a lender will allow you to, there's certain restrictions that you have to qualify up to in order to purchase a home. Debt to income ratio being the main one. So that's how much debt do you have per month based on the income coming in. So lenders won't allow you to use all of your income coming in to pay for a mortgage and your debt. So there's a ratio there. And what a lender is going to do is they're going to guide you through that process. They're going to say, based on the income that you make, this is how much you can afford to purchase with your, taxes, your insurance, if there's an HOA on the property, this is how much property you can buy with the down payment that you have. And then you can work backwards and say, okay, this is, essentially the price range that I should be looking at. And what most people do is they start out looking at homes online and are going to open houses because they think they're in a certain price point. And a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times they're actually looking at a price point that's much higher than what they can afford. And a lot of times buyers, just because they can afford a certain price point doesn't mean they're okay with the monthly payment. So what I tell people all the time is that look at, what you're qualified up to, and now how much are you comfortable paying per month? And now what number does that equate to? So if those two numbers are the same, then great, you can go out and start looking at properties in that price range. But, for example, if you're qualified up to, say a $4,000 a month payment, but you're really only comfortable at $3,000 a month, then we need to look at houses in a different price point. And that's the reason that buyers make that mistake initially without going through the pre-approval process, is that they're out there looking and haven't done the due diligence. And honestly, in any market, when you're working with a professional agent, they're going to require that you have that pre-approval up front anyway. So it's always best to get it done so that you're not having to worry whether or not you qualify. And in putting in an offer, you're going to have to submit a pre-approval letter with that offer to start. So it's always good to get that out of the way. Make sure you're fully qualified. Make sure you meet lenders' guidelines. And honestly, go through the full process with the lender so that when you find the right property and you put it in an offer and it gets accepted, that your financing's in place and there's no concern there. So, continue to do videos on buyers and mistakes that often come up. But honestly, this is the probably the most common one and the one that I see the most often. So, if you have additional questions about the lending process, you need to find a lender. I'd love the opportunity to refer you to somebody that I know. If you're out of state, I can also direct you there as well. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.